Hello, how are you today? So, first of all, I just want to say if you're really curious about seeing a really colorful, beautiful sunrise, go to my stories on Facebook today and take a look. Oh my gosh, everybody I looked at this morning on Facebook and stories that lives in Colorado Springs, we just had the most glorious morning. In fact, as I sit here and look at my little uh, Indian token, everything was all in these colors plus pink added. Oh my gosh, it was a powerful morning. And the more I see people posting about it in the pictures that they post, everyone found joy today. So I wish you joy today also. So I'm Marla Copal, and I come on every day because I just have things that I'd like to share. And if you like to listen, I'm appreciating you. Thank you very much. I am one of those high intuitive problem solvers that just loves to poke at what we all think is the truth or what we think has to be. And so at over 70, I don't think that most of what we see out in the world has to be just because we're older. So I want to talk to you today about something called meaningful work. A lot of us might have worked jobs for years. Now, I've got a diverse background. I've done my own business. I've worked for corporation. I've worked for individuals to market them. I've just done a lot. And I'm actually one of those people that the more diverse I can be, the more excited I get about inventing new solutions. But the point here is that I'm setting up a class, sort of a facilitated, let's poke the horse around aging tomorrow. And I want to change the aging paradigm. So to me, that is going to be my meaningful work. It's not the only thing I do. I help people market themselves. I coach and train online media marketing and sales skills for those who are saying, I want to do this, but I don't know how. So I got that one covered. And that one is that's good. I like that. But my meaningful work is where I can make a change. And some people use the term legacy, and that might be the thing that's going on for them. I just want to make a difference so that nobody coming up on the age of 65 has to hear their doctor say, because you're 65, this is what you could expect. So, meaningful work is something that's going to keep your brain activated. You have power up here because what you've got up here is you've got wisdom that you've acquired over the years, but you just may not know how to frame it so that it can help someone else. You may know how to frame it so it can help someone else. I mean, my gosh, if somebody has 40 years of working out angles, they didn't start 40 years ago knowing what they know at the end of the 40 years. That acquired wisdom at the end of the 40 years is a value, and nobody ever really knows how to put the monetary value to that. Well, maybe you don't need a monetary value, maybe you need a health value to that. So I know I'm jumping all over the place. That's what I do. And if you like jumping all over the place, well, I'm glad you're here this morning watching. So what I'm trying to get to here is meaningful work. So I get frustrated when I see groups out on Facebook that say retirement on a shoestring budget. Well, that might be the case. Maybe that's where you had to end up. But you don't have to stay there. You don't have to be there. You don't have to accept that. Because if you accept that, what happens when we have inflation? What happens when the shoestring budget that works for you today doesn't work 6 months from now? Doesn't work a year from now? Are you trapped at home? So these phrases that we bring into our lives, and then we start using them as the mantra that makes it the truth. I like to disrupt those. I like to poke at those. I like to say, well, what happened to your older brain when you said live on a shoestring budget? You just built in a limit. And the limit's going to follow up with conversations like, I can't do that because, I can't do that because, I can't do that because. And if you run around and say, I can't do that because I can't afford it, then what are you telling your body? Are you telling your body it can't stay healthy? I mean, I don't know. But what I know is when we put a negative message in, it starts showing up somewhere else. So what is meaningful work? Well, for some of you, it's volunteering. But for me, it's creating new ideas. It's stimulating new thought. It's stimulating others to look at the limits they've set for themselves and to look beyond those. When I work with people who've set a limit, they said, "Oh, that's it. That's all I got." Oh, it creates a place in my imagination that says, "Oh, no, there's more." And so as long as I can keep coming up with that, now they may not be interested in it, but it actually sparks me. So good morning, everyone. So here's one of the things that happened to me in college all the time. I had a roommate, and she'd be studying. I'd be at my desk, and she'd be studying, and she'd ask me about a word in some of her English literature or whatever. And most often I could come up with the definitions out of context, and I'd share them with her. But if I didn't know and I wasn't sure and I gave her an answer and I said, well, let me look. And I'd go into the dictionary. Now, was she tooling me? No, she wasn't, because she poked my curiosity every time. And could she trust that I was going to go look? Yeah, she could. But I wanted to know. So when I was posed a question, my level of curiosity was always such that I wanted to know. So I want to help people with meaningful work. I want to help people keep this brain not an aging brain. I want you to keep it an active brain. And when you have an active brain, there is no chronological age that will ever apply to you. But let's take it for young people too. Let's go back to 30 and 40. I have actually, when I used to work, I've actually seen people crying in their work cube on the day of their 30th birthday or their 35th birthday or their 40th birthday, because they had something attached to that age that said they were going to be less than afterwards, or they hadn't met their goals, whatever it was, but they didn't even know sometimes. They were just bawling their heads off. And I was at the time 20, 25 years older than some of them. And it just amazed me that people had some kind of a thought limitation that this was it. Well, yeah, some of them had parents that died too early, and they were associating with that. I got to get that. But luckily I passed. My mom died early at 53, and I made it past that. Another 20 years, and I figure I got another 20 to 30 years left. And so when I look at my bucket of time, we don't know when it's going to stop, but I look at my bucket of time, it's like, oh, I have a lot of time left to do some meaningful work. So in one of those groups the other day called Talking About Their Shoestring Budget, someone said, I'm retiring on such and such a date. And everybody congratulated. And I went back and I said, this is wonderful. What are your plans? Trying to be as open as I can. I plan to watch a lot of football. That was it. Well, if football is meaningful work, like if I were going to do watching football, I'd have to be out on the sideline being coached, and I don't know a dang thing about football. But it's like active versus passive. So one of the first choices anyone has in their life is, where are you going to remain active? After 30, after 40, after 50. Now, once you're active in working with other people, what is going to make it meaningful for you? So, like I said, I'm a problem solver. Every job I've ever gotten myself in is to help somebody with their problem. Good morning. Is to help somebody with their problem. Their problem could be their attitude. It could be their self-perspective. It could be that I was managing high-risk properties and had to renovate them and make them marketable again. I've done a lot. I've been lost at sea where we had to figure out how to get ourselves out of the fog and out of the rain and get back. We didn't do such a bang up job of it, but every time we get ourselves in a situation and we get out of it, it's meaningful. So, what do you want to do to stimulate yourself? This is Monday and this is a musing time. And this isn't necessarily to say, oh, it's Monday. It's like Monday. What are we going to do with this day? And if anybody's retired, I don't want you to be tired. I want your brain to be active. But if you're young and you're already worrying about these times, start creating that meaningful work now. So, I have this little link down here called successwithmarla.com. And on that, you can get on my email list. And I'm doing marketing and sales tips and a lot of support for people who are building a business online and want to be successful. But there's all age ranges that I work with. Somebody told me that I needed to niche an age range. My niche is an attitude. My niche is, are you a serious online networking business owner, or are you call it a home-based business owner or whatever, but I'm calling serious. I'm not a good, you got to bring your own hope and I'll give you the skill. But if you're already in denial that you can't be successful, then there's no reason to talk to me. So I'm one of those people that has a high level of enthusiasm. It'll always be there. Don't ask me how I got it. God gifted me this level of enthusiasm. Somebody asked me the other day how I can do this. It's like, don't know, it just percolates up every morning. It's just here. So I love it. So what's meaningful work? Well, meaningful work for me is where I can be enthusiastic every day, where I can think I'm adding value to myself, to my family, and to others. So I'm here today on Monday to say, what's your meaningful work? And then what's your work? Where do you need help? Do you need help in either area? Then let's talk. So when you hit this link, I've got 15 minutes that I'll just share with you, and we'll just see, are we the type of people that want to play together? If you need a new consciousness, a new wealth-based consciousness, or a new health-based consciousness, I got stuff that I can share with you that'll help with that. If you are an educator and you are looking for a platform of like-minded people to help you rise above your current level of expertise and your current level of enthusiasm, I got that for you too. So what I realize is, as usual, I have a lot of troubleshooting skills for individuals who feel like they're stuck. And some days, that is my meaningful work. I don't necessarily have to sell you anything, but I can get you unstuck. And what does unstuck look like? It's going to be different for every one of you. Some of you are already buying into an attitude that you're old. Some of you are already buying into an attitude that you can't do tech. Some of you are already buying into an attitude that life sucks. Some of you are buying into an attitude that retirement is only a recliner. And some of you are buying into the fact that it's too late to do something. Too late in your 30. Too late in your 40. Give it up. Today, my Monday musing is about find something meaningful for your work, whether it is paid or not paid, and no matter your age, and bring some enthusiasm back into your life. And if you need a spark, I'm here for you. Just come see me, because you just got to click on that, successwithmarla.com. And you know what? I give a lot away because that's actually my meaningful work. So are you ready for my gift? I don't know what it is until you have some sort of a dilemma, some sort of a joy to share, some sort of a project that you're crafting and you want to make sure you've got it kind of tuned up, or you just want to present yourself better to the world and make more relationships so that your business can grow. Whatever it is, I am a muse for you with a lot of enthusiasm to help you realize that you can get off that lily pad and swim across that lake. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.